Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. I just about died choking on some water a minute ago, so I may still be coughing a little bit, but we're gonna get through this. So before I get into what we're working on today, which I actually don't know what we're working on today, so we'll have to find something. I got a bunch of stuff in my to-do list, so we'll figure something out. But before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wish listing. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler. So if that sounds interesting to you, and if you like these live streams, definitely consider wish listing. You can also financially support me on Patreon. As a reminder, the top sponsor tier here will give you two very important perks. You will get an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, and you will get your game, or your name rather, in the in-game credits when the game launches. So all you need to do is subscribe to this for 1 month. Of course, I would appreciate if you considered subscribing for longer, because this funding is going to help me pay for the music and pay for the consulting and all that stuff that I want to do. But you just need to subscribe for 1 month and you will get those two perks. So you can think of it almost as a pre-order or like a Kickstarter benefit for supporting the project early in development. And I also have my Udemy courses available for sale. This is a great way to support me as well, and also a great way to learn how to build games in the Godot engine. And beyond that, you can join the Discord, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Everything is linked in the description below, so I hope you'll check that out for me. And let's get right into it. Hello, RN Genesis, welcome back. We're doing something crazy. I know, we never do anything on this stream. Welcome back, Meep. Good to see you. V, hello, welcome. Welcome. Hello, Emerson. Always good to see you. Burn the witch. Yeah, I'll show you guys the witch that I made last night. Thank you, Snupbill, for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that, as always, with the message yummers. Look at all these yummers in the chat. Welcome back, Snupbill. Always good to see you. JKHE, welcome. Rin, hello. Welcome. A little something, yes, indeed. Neozoid, son of a bee. Good to see you, Neozoid. Alrighty. So let me show you the witch that I created. Many of you may have seen the art already for it in the Discord, but this one, it's called Malva's Burning, because there's some flavor text related to it. It's a little bit of like a historical anecdote, but this card applies 2 fire for each time an allied card applied fire since last execution. So this is designed to work with other fire cards, and will just basically scale its fire application based on how many times fire was applied. So I was testing it here with this little candle. Let's just go into a combat here. Maybe I don't really need to show you that it works, but we'll just go in and check it out. Okay, so then I'll just go ahead and run this. So we got the candle, it executed once, and then this applied to fire. And of course, since the turns are offset here, sometimes this Malva's Burning card is applying 4 fire because the candle executed twice in the window that it took for the witch to go. So yeah, I think that's good. Is that a player or an enemy card? That is an enemy card, yeah. So I just have it in the player board right now, but this is an enemy card. So this will be, if we look at board configuration editor here, this will be in regions 1 to 2. So there we go. So this is an enemy card. This is what it will look like on the enemy board. And yeah. No export errors now? No. So the export errors, so this is a handy thing for anyone using C#. So this is not very well documented, but if you're extending editor script, the tricky thing about this is that this is a part of the Godot editor assemblies, which do not get bundled with your exported game. So you have to use this what is it called? A preprocessor directive or a processor directive? I don't really know what this is called, but you have to do this pound if tools here, hashtag if tools, and then end if to basically only include this script, only compile this when you have the editor assemblies or the tools enabled. And then when you go to export the game, it's just going to ignore all this. Basically, it's going to exclude this from the build. So that's the way to do it. That's not documented on the editor script page though, so that's why I thought it was an error. So I think that there may be a change coming just to the documentation to note that. But that's what you got to do if you do editor scripts in C# and you're going to export your game. Is the witch a real witch or a chemist? So yeah, I'm keeping it like very low fantasy in the game here. So there's not really going to be much explicit magic. A lot of it is alchemy. So this says, Malva was burned at the stake for her dealings in the occult. When authorities discovered her alchemical ability to reanimate insects, she was swiftly sentenced to death. So it was mostly like science, like alchemical science experiments that she was doing. Yeah, there's an update with Godot. It was just a minor or a patch version update, so there's no different features. There's nothing exciting that's new, and I don't think any of the fixes really affect me, but I'm updated to 4.5.1, so we're good. 3 cards in one day, not bad at all. So it's just a documentation bug, yeah, basically. Because I don't know how you're, like, if you're in my position, how are you supposed to know? I guess maybe I should have known this because I've been doing Godot C# for so long, but how am I supposed to know that there's editor assemblies that don't get bundled with your exported game if it's not marked or mentioned in the relevant classes? You know what I mean? So I think it's just a minor oversight, but yeah, I'm glad that there's a proper way of handling that for sure. Okay. Let's go ahead and fix this bug that's been bothering me. Card tooltip can trigger while upgrade animation playing. So this might also be an issue for the alchemy, actually. Let me try something. Three, and upgrade is 7. So let's go down here. Generate test map on. Test map node type 3. A while. I don't know what this is in reference to, Wooius. Also, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I welcomed you. So if I go to the alchemy here, I think what might happen if I put this in here... Oh, of course it's not going to work. Of course it's not going to work. Hold on a second. I need to have a way of adding cards to my inventory in-game. That would be very nice. Anyway, let's put this on the board. Okay, so if I do this... Yeah, so I can still hover over the cards when they're doing that animation. So I need to disable those card mouse areas. So it's also a problem for the upgrade card upgrade container here. So where is this happening? Handle pressed. Card animation root. Card.disable. Card.cardNode.disable mouse areas. I think I just need to do that in there. Play drop animation. I think I can just do this. Card.cardNode.enable mouse area. So we're going to try that first. Project settings. 7 for the test map node type. Hello, Mun. I only missed a few streams and that UI looks even better. I'm impressed. Thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome back to the stream. How are y'all doing? I'm doing well. How are you? Good morning, Ninja Link. Good morning, good morning. All right, so let's see if this works. So if I do this and I hover over this, I can't, yeah. So before it would be the case that I could put my mouse here and I would get the tooltip. So now I'm just disabling those mouse areas for a little bit. I'm trying to think if there's anything else besides the alchemy and the upgrade that would be a bug for. Oh, I actually didn't fix it for the alchemy yet. So alchemy container. Set alchemy output cards. Play in animation. Let's look at the outline here. On clicked, handle pressed, add a tree. I think I just need to do this. Card.cardNode.disable mouse area. Okay. Let's see what that does. Is a corrupted villager or peasant card a thing? No, but I could certainly add one. Good to hear, Mun. Good to hear. You're fine, kind of starved with limited food budgets in uni right now. Well, you don't have many food options at school. It might surprise you to learn when I was in college, I had a cheeseburger every single day for lunch. Anyway. Okay, perfect. I think that's working. So that was a very easy fix. Disable mouse areas when upgrading or alchemizing. That bug is done. We need to add a pickaxe animation for the artifact reroll. It might be a good time to do that. So artifact event container. So yeah, when I click this pickaxe here, this is at 0, 0, right? Yeah, so let's create an animation player. Not an animation tree. Animation. You know what I'm going to do? This is annoying. Editor, editor settings. No, editor, manage editor features. We are going to look for animation tree, uncheck it. Okay, now if I go to add a node, look at that. Now there's no more animation tree. Thank you, thank you. I never use that and I always accidentally add it, so. Anyway. Reroll. Okay. So let's see if we can figure this out. So pickaxe, we're going to want to probably between the position and the rotation. We'll do it over 1 second, I suppose. Let's turn on recording. I think the rotation is going to be a little bit wonky here, actually. Pickaxe root. I might need to add another. Here, let me delete these. I might need to do another pickaxe. Let's see, node 2D. Pickaxe. Animation root. Do that. Does that make sense? Oh, it's locked. Unlock. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and then we're going to move this. I think that's okay. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so now the pickaxe. Let's do the transform position, rotation. Cool, cool. And then let's just... Oh, this needs to be 0.05. We'll just move this over here. Rotate it like this. And then here, let's move it back to where it was. Rotate it back the way it's supposed to be. Zoom this in a little bit. And I want to make it move up a little bit. Why is that lagging? Okay. Change these to cubic. Wonder why that animation is lagging. That's kind of weird. Probably want to emphasize this bounce a little bit. Did that not record? Why is that lagging? Anyway. Oops. Rotation. Actually don't know if that's gonna work. What in the heck? Anyway. That might be okay. We'll add some screen shake as well. And some particle effects, probably. Okay, where's this pickaxe used? Pickaxe, create invalid shake tween. We probably want to change this to, okay. Node, private, node 2D, pickaxe, animation root. Down here, this will do pickaxe animation root. Create invalid shake tween. And then what else? We need to play the animation player. Okay. And then let's do this. Private, static, read only, string name, anim reroll. On reroll clicked, play reroll. Animation player.play anim reroll. All right, and then we're probably going to want also private void on reroll impact game. How do I do the shake? Do shake. Oh, event camera. Event camera. Is that right? I don't know. Build this. Don't you do quarter pounder plus cheese most days now? Yeah. Everyday cheeseburger, I'm jealous. What ratio do you kind of want to go for minion, weapon, relic, other card types? I think I roughly want to have equal numbers of everything. But yeah, we'll see. It doesn't need to be exact, but I think roughly equal is good. Hello, Future Trunks, welcome. My earlier message didn't go through. I wanted to suggest an old Crone or Hag enemy card if that hasn't already been suggested. Randomly thought about it the other day. Oh yeah, Crone or Hag. Yeah, let's do that. I'll write that down. Player card ideas. Hag. Although to be fair, choosing, buying a game, donating, and eating is quite a doozy. Yeah, that's true. YouTube has been weird lately. It has. Outage, yeah. Hello, dudes. Looking handsome today. Well, thank you. Thank you. Gonna give a little spin for the pickaxe, for the animation. Oh yeah, the spin might be cool. Let's see how this one works, and then I'll tweak the animation depending on how it looks in game, but I want to add a call method track here. And when it hits here, call that on reroll impact there. And then what? I guess we could just see what that looks like. I wonder if I can just test this as a standalone scene. I hope I can. Oh, I guess I did this wrong. This does need to be pickaxe create animation. Okay. So we're not going to see the camera shake here because there is no camera to shake, but okay, so we're probably going to want to do some particles here. What I might do is, let me just open this up here. Assets. Bring this in. So this is the art for it. What am I looking for? This. So I'm going to copy. Paste this in here. Basically what I want is I just want I just want these things. Let's just arrange them. Canvas size. What is it? 16 times 5. Okay. Put this here. Okay. All right, we're going to save this as assets effect, particles, rocks.png. Save that in there. Now, where do I want to put this? Probably just under here. GPU particles 2D. Rock particles. All right, let's see what we can do here. Rock particles, turn off interpolate. New canvas item material, particles animation on. We have 5 horizontal frames. Okay, now I need the process material. New particle process material. Okay, spawn velocity. Direction is -1 in the Y. Move these rock particles here. Okay. We want to turn the explosiveness up. Okay. Let's change the emission shape to sphere. Okay. Animated velocity, gravity, or no, accelerations, gravity. Okay. Display, scale, scale curve. That'll work. Trying to think. Angular velocity. Turn this down, turn that down, or turn that up. That might work. Okay, now we got to turn this on to one shot. And then we can go to the animation player here. Add property track on the rock particles, emitting. We're going to set this to true down here. I think it needs to be it lags every time. I can't really see it that well, but let's go into this and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think with the screen shake, it's going to look better. Turn the spread up a little bit. Okay. Event type artifact 9. So we'll put this and we'll generate this as the test node type. We'll go into the game and we'll see what that looks like. Hello, Ali. Welcome. Always good to see you. By the way, will there be Linux support? Yes, there will be. Yeah, it will be available. This game will be available for all desktop platforms at release. So Mac, Linux, Windows. So no worries there. Godot makes that very easy to do, so. I think that feels good. Yeah, it's a very basic animation, but I think it works. If I add some sound effects in there and everything. Yeah, cool. All right, I'm going to call that done. There's no need to spend too much time on it. I can make the pickaxe animation fancier for sure, but I think it's good. I just want to get these things polished up for the next playtest. Okay. So add reroll animation for artifact event. Add more sound effects. So it should start reroll artifact, change alchemy, SFX. Start noting which sound effects are missing. Options, button, clicks. Okay, so that's done. Add tier of shop events. So I still need to figure out a way of indicating the tier for events on the event screens. So late I couldn't even block the yummers. Yes. And goes early wins win. Hello, Silvio. Welcome to the stream. Just finished the first module from the multiplayer course. Amazing explanation of how things work. Do you pretend to make any other courses on Godot specific things? I don't know if pretend is the right word, but I have other courses, yeah. So if you want to look at the description below, I've got a C# course if you're interested in C#. And I also have just like a single player Vampire Survivors-esque game course. That course is useful because it goes very heavy into composition. So if you're interested in learning how composition works in like a full game, that would be good. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the course. Yeah, it might be a bit weird to have that. I don't know. I think it would also be weird to like redo the pillars coming up from the ground. So I'll have to think about that a little bit more, but I think that's something that can be handled closer to the end of development. I don't want to spend too much time like going super specific on all the visual effects just yet. I want to make them presentable and look nice for the playtest, but in terms of like dialing everything up that extra degree, I think I want to wait until the game is much more cemented, I guess. But yeah, I agree. I think it is a little bit weird, but it's okay. So I still need to figure out a way to nerf the echo enchant, and I also need to add tier indicator for events on the event screen. So what this means is basically, so for instance, if I go to the shop, which one's the shop? 2. So I go to the shop here. The problem when I go into an event is I don't know what tier the shop is. So I need to add a tier indicator to all of the event screens. I just don't know how to present that. So if anyone has any ideas, I'd definitely be open to it. It could just be text somewhere. Like it just be text up here maybe, or even down below, or I could design it so that it's in a certain area of each encounter. Same for alchemy. So if I go to my alchemy, which is alchemy 3? I think alchemy is 3. So if I go to the alchemy, there's no way of knowing what tier this is in this screen. So I need to figure out a way of doing that for each event type. All right, thanks for joining, Mun, and have a good day. What do I want to do? Same for the enchant here. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I suppose it's still a long way before plan updating 2D platformer course. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to finish Alchemortis first before I do any other course stuff. May have slightly different border for each card tier and apply the same logic on map nodes. Yeah, it's not the nodes that are the problem, because it says the tier here. I could definitely make the different tiers look different, but it's mostly when you're inside of the event. So this is tier 1, I know it's tier 1, but then I go here and I'm like, wait, what tier was this again? You know? That's the thing I'm trying to resolve. I'm thinking almost like a slide out panel here that just says this is tier 4 upgrade or whatever. But I'm running out of space over here, so I'm trying to think, should I move this around? I mean, I could just put text up here, but that would be kind of lame. I could have something drop down from here, maybe. Fill this space here. That might work. What about showing a small circle like the basilisk eye under the cancel crow with Roman numeral like numbers inside it? Yeah, that could work. Substitute border idea by anything else as long as it's something other than tier X number, which is easy to miss. In addition to, yeah. The white highlight is nice to look at, thank you. How about birdwing open up with the info? Well, this is the skip button, so I'd have to merge that. I'm almost thinking maybe there could be like a panel that slides down here that says what it is. Yeah, all good. Let's see. What was it? I think F3. So if I go here, open file. Oops. This one, I think. Oh, did that not work? Was it not F3? Oh, it's not F3. I think it's... I forgot what the key map was. Let's see. Input map, debug screenshot is F1. Okay. It's F1. So let's go back in here. So I'm almost thinking... Yeah, I don't know, actually. I'm almost thinking there could be like a panel here. That's not centered in this column there, but that's all right. Something like that, maybe? Of course, I would make this panel look nicer. And then maybe have some... just very basic, but... I mean, very rough. Have some chains or something coming down. Which is my waifu, add a water bucket item, which I can save her. Would bin relic changes stats if the witch puts the fire out? Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know, do we like the idea of this coming down on the screen to tell you what event you're in? I just don't know if I want to do that. Oops. Power Toys update. Probably would want to make this look engraved or something. Good temp idea before another one comes along. Like a sign, yeah, looks good. If you put the fire out, the witch becomes a player card. Yeah, that can be cool. Not the change yet, but you did the chains to death and Gunforged. It's called iteration. It's called iteration. Yeah, I don't know if I would. I don't know. Well, I think I might do something like that. It would be a nice, like, universal way of showing what the encounter is or what the event is. But I don't really have any specific inspiration for that. So let's see. Maybe do panel that slides down from the top. It'd be nice too to have like a little hover thing here that you can hover over. That will explain like what makes it stronger, or like, yeah, what the event does at higher tiers, I think. But maybe let's just move on because I don't know exactly what to do with that. This one will be easy. Maybe I'll just do this one real quick. Add tier of shop events. Shop event tooltip. Duplicate this label. Tier label. Okay. Do I not have the tier in here? Interesting. Set shop configuration. Let's pass the tier in here. Current node dot tier. I keep forgetting it. This one is 0 based, right? Okay. Register clickable control tier. Oh, I guess I don't even really need this. Show event. Tier label. Tier label. Tier label dot text is equal to tier. Description utils dot to Roman numeral tier +1. I think that will work. Okay. Good morning, asymmetrics. Welcome back. Physics on the chain, sign falls from top, easy way to add budget to the game. Yeah, I did that in Gunforge, like Rin said, which I could just do again, but okay, that's the wrong. Oh, I forgot to generate test map. There we go. So now what I should see now is in these shop events here, tier 1, tier 1, tier 1. So previously it didn't show you what tier these were. Is there a tier 2 shop anywhere? There's one. Just make sure that this works. Tier 2, tier 2, tier 2. All right, that works. Get rid of this. Add tier to shop events. Lots of little things to do, but that's all right. We do need to do this one. So yeah, I still haven't figured out how to nerf the Echo enchant. I mean, I could just get rid of... I could just get rid of Echo as an enchant. Do I want to remove Echo from enchants? I think I'd rather do that than make Echo a % chance, and maybe what I'll do is I can add a card that has Echo built into it. So basically, like, if I remove Echo from the enchant, there is not really a good way of getting Echo. There's a couple of cards that have Echo, like the Corvid, but those are conditional on there being multiple cards of the same type. The problem is that's extra powerful too, because both cards will Echo. So if I have 2 Corvids, then both of them are going to Echo. So it's as if 4 Corvids are executing. Oops, all shops edition, yeah. That witch looks way too chill about her whole situation. Is she smiling? Yes, I mean, she was dabbling in the occult and she's a wicked witch, so... Remember, the villagers are the good guys, so in this world, the witch burning is actually justified because she was doing occult, unbecoming things. So, yeah, she's like defiant, like wickedly defiant, you know what I mean? She was accused of brewing anti-fire potions. Executioners didn't think it through. Hot shower for a reason. Agnes Nutter, I don't know that reference. Expect the lawyers to be calling immediately. Do I make a new branch for every change, or do you wait for a few of them to pile up? I do not make a new branch for every change. The way that I do it is that I make sure that every commit that I make to the master branch is the game runs. So I don't commit anything that's broken. If I do want to do a bigger overhaul, then yes, I will do it on a different branch, and I'll just do all of my overhaul changes on that branch until it's done, and then I'll merge that back in. But for the most part, no, I just commit directly to master, and then that's it. That's it. What do I want to do about Echo? I mean, I could just make Echo have a % chance, generally speaking. Echo is really powerful. Let me take a look at something. There's another way to do Echo, which is interesting, which could be that, I think somebody made the suggestion, Echo could just repeat one of the abilities that you have. So it kind of will balance itself, because if you have a card that's been alchemized with like a bunch of abilities, instead of all of them getting applied again, only one of them gets applied, but then you're incentivized, if you have a card with Echo, you're incentivized to keep like one ability on that card so that you're guaranteed that that ability gets triggered again. That might be the way to balance it. Because then Echo will just functionally become weaker the more abilities that you have on the card. But if you really want to focus and have control over the Echo, you want to maintain just one ability on the card, right? The problem is I don't have a framework for just re-triggering one ability. And the other problem too is that something like Swarm is technically an ability, so I'd have to add some logic to exclude certain types of abilities from being echoed. But what do we think about that? What do we think about making Echo only echo one ability? What does Echo do now exactly? The card just triggers again. So it's as if the card executes twice in one turn. Good Omens. I wonder how easy it would be to make it echo an additional... Let's see. Add a card to rerun execution list. So I think what I need to do if I wanted to make Echo execute one random ability, I'd need to get all of the card abilities here, all the composed abilities, and then choose one of those randomly, duplicate it, and then execute that. Is that a good idea? Echo could apply to other cards, like deals 20% of what happened last 10 turns. Can't wait to do Echo build with Mirror. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a good way of nerfing Echo because it's way too powerful. So there's a couple ways to nerf it. We can keep Echo as it is and just dramatically reduce the ways in which you can acquire Echo. Make it a little bit difficult to get Echo, like you'd have to do alchemy to get it and so on and so forth. So that's one way to do it. Because the enchant, like... Echo being available as an enchant, you can just slap it on and boom, it's just like there, you know? So you can make Echo just a lot harder to get and require like require you to take the risk with alchemy to get it. So that'd be one way of nerfing it. The other way of nerfing it is to give it a % chance to echo. So rather than it guaranteeing a trigger, it like has a 10% chance to trigger twice or something like that. So that's another way to nerf it. Another way to nerf it is to make it echo only one random ability from the card every execution rather than all abilities. So I think those are the best options, unless anyone else has any other suggestions on how to nerf echo. I think all those options can be good options. I think it's just a question of what would feel best to the player. Echoes usually have a fall-off. Could the triggered abilities have their effects halved? Maybe the values are too small to do something like that. I mean, the problem is there are some abilities that don't really have a way of having them. You know what I mean? Like, not all abilities have... Like, so for instance... If you echo the Bell's ability, which resets the cooldown of a random enemy minion, or a random enemy card, how do you have that? Do you say, well, it just doesn't? It doesn't, you know, reduce the cooldown or reset the cooldown? Picking just one ability to execute again could work for sure. Is there a way to modify the execution order? Maybe do it for just one card. That's an idea too, yeah. Hello, Sam Studio. Welcome back. What's the plan for today? We're just doing a bunch of random stuff, going through my backlog. Echo exclusively is an alchemy only when you throw 2 of the same item plus another one. It's like an effect on the card. Yeah, it's an effect. The third one is the best. What? The 10% chance to echo or the... I forgot what the third one is. Or echo a random ability. One ability at random is a good option. Power down by 2 or 3 tiers would need to program tier. Oh yeah. Putting Echo on a card would be a more strategic choice that way instead of A. Put on the best thing choice. Right. I mean, Snupbill kind of has an interesting idea too. Echo could just do Echo once, you know, it could just Echo once per combat encounter. So it only does it once and it never does it again. That could be a way of doing it. Yeah, the 10% chance to Echo would definitely be the easiest thing to do. Picking one just at random would, I think, offer more interesting strategic choices for the player, but that's going to be somewhat technically difficult, I think. It might not actually be that technically difficult. I would just need to make sure that certain abilities don't get echoed, like Swarm. I mean, maybe Swarm could be echoed. Maybe... What does the Swarm look like? Maybe it wouldn't be that hard. Maybe it wouldn't be that hard at all. Maybe you could bind Echo to a card and you can only have one Echo on the field. That could work. Echo strong, but echoes back to your side for half the damage you deal with it. Risky. Yeah, having it reflect back is an interesting idea. Will it stack? Yeah, that's the other thing, is like you can have multiple echoes on a card, so it would have to be somewhat stackable. I think I like the random ability because I think that's going to offer more strategic depth, because if it only does a random ability and you've got a card with 10 abilities on it, then it's just going to be weaker than if you like made it very focused on a single ability, right? So if you have a card with Echo and like damage, and you just want to buff that damage as much as possible and then have the Echo target only that damage, that's going to be a lot stronger than piling up a whole list of alchemical outputs on a single card and then having Echo, because then it might just choose one of the weaker things that you've got on the card rather than triggering all of them. So I think that's one Echo on the field could be a good idea as well. But I'm kind of, I don't know, I don't want to put those kind of limitations on the player. Be like, oh, you can't use this card because you put too many abilities on it or whatever. Let's try it. Let's just try making it do a random ability. I think that might work. I just have to be very careful how to do this. So let me do this. If you can stack, you'll be able to achieve a better result by getting more echoes. I like this idea. Yeah, okay. So we're going to try it. We're going to see. I don't know how that's going to work in my framework that I've set up, so I'm going to have to do some thinking about that, I think. But let's just try it. So I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break, and when I get back, we're going to try making Echo only target one ability on the card. Just make sure you can't echo and echo, right? Yeah. How will it be more strategic? Yeah, it chooses a different random ability each time. Yeah. And it'll be more strategic because, like I said, it will not be as powerful if you have 10 abilities on the card and it just chooses one at random every time, versus if you like tailor a card very narrowly to have one ability that can echo. It's going to be a lot more interesting that way, I think. If there's indeed an execution order that the player can influence, then Echo can pick one of the last 3 executed abilities at random. Yeah. All right, we're gonna try it, but again, I'm gonna take a quick 3-minute break, and when I come back, we will see how we're gonna accomplish this. So, BRB. All right, I'm back. Oops, wait, never mind. BRB again. All right, now I'm back. All right, let's see what we can do here. Let me look at my base card. Track ability execution. Turn history entry. So I have to consider the turn histories as well. I think one easy way to do this so this is a loop here that iterates over all of the abilities. So it calls get all combat executable abilities here. So I think one way to do this is when the echo executes, what I could potentially do is, so the echo will execute here. What I could potentially do is have a way of modifying this array so that I just push the ability that I want to execute to echo immediately after the echo that just went. And so what I'll end up with is in this abilities array, essentially what I'll end up with is I'll have the same reference to one ability twice in the array, so it's just going to get executed twice. I think that would be the cleanest way to do that, because then I can just maintain this order. Like this execution order all in here is very important. And if I were to do something weird like execute the ability that the echo is going to execute in here, I'm going to get all messed up with my turn history and stuff like that and tracking the ability execution. I think it's going to be the easiest thing to do to just, yeah, modify this array here. So basically, I'll want to push an ability onto the array, I guess. Now, how am I going to do that? That's the thing. We have this execution result here. So what I could potentially do is everything returns an execution result. I could have a list of abilities to push on to the abilities list, if that makes sense. And put those immediately after the echo. I think that would work. There's one more like in Balatro, when you get by that echo if you choose one random thing permanently. Oh, interesting. Okay. Our favorite niche, E-Celeb, is back, yeah? Still lurking, Neozoid? Just a heads up, since you got Power Toys update, it adds a new feature called Light Switch that messes with your dark light mode of Windows. Oh, interesting. Okay. I will keep that in mind. It repeatedly changed my dark mode to light mode every minute. I don't know why. Oh, maybe I'll just avoid updating then. Yeah, I did miss something. Time for Game Dev once again. Yes, indeed. Welcome, Jackie Daytona. Good to see you as always. So I think here's what I'm going to do. These abilities are all base card abilities. So public list, base card ability, abilities to add to execution. So we just do something like that. And then in the echo here, what I will do is I need to get, so if I do var combat executable abilities is equal to execution context.basecard.get all combat executable abilities. And I'm going to do where x is not equal. Let's just do is not echo. I think that's all right. Oh, I probably only want this to be, hold on a second. Oh, this is going to be a little bit tricky. Because this is going to select sub abilities. I need to select composed abilities. So let's do public list base card ability, get all combat executable composed abilities. We're going to take this, return abilities dot to list. Let's do base composed ability. Oops. Okay. So then this, we're going to replace this with get all combat executable composed abilities. Then what I'll do here is, oh shoot, this is actually going to be kind of difficult. You can deactivate it easily. IDKY is enabled by default. Okay. I will check that out. I have so much to do today. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to be spending this entire afternoon doing errands instead of working on this game. Where's my robots? Where's my AI robots that can do all my chores for me? Please, I'm begging you. Somebody give it to me. I will give you my entire net worth if you can have a robot that does everything for me. Anyway, so composed abilities to add to execution, base composed ability. So now in echo here, I want to actually get now hold on a second. If I want to exclude echoes, this is actually going to be kind of difficult. Maybe it won't be difficult. Combat executable abilities equals execution get all combat executable composed abilities, where X x.get abilities to execute dot any where not x is echo. So we will just exclude any abilities, any composed abilities that have sub abilities where one of them is echo. Okay. So we've got that going on here. ToList. If combat executable abilities dot count is equal to 0, we're just going to return empty result. Okay. So then what we need to do is we need to be able to... Why is this has executed here? Oh, so it doesn't trigger again. Well, that I probably don't need this has executed anymore. Do I need this has executed anymore? I don't think so. Let's remove the has executed because that's just going to confuse me. Okay. This is irrelevant. I can get rid of that. Add card to rerun execution list. That's not what we're doing anymore. What I need to do instead is I need to choose a random ability. So var random ability is equal to card executable abilities. We're not going to do that. We're going to, this is a list. So we can actually do mathutil.rng.randirange 0 to combat executable abilities count -1. Then we're going to return new execution result. Composed abilities to add to execution random ability. Okay, so I think that's going to work. So now the thing is we got to go back to the base card ability. Now we got to, or the base card rather. Now what we have to do is basically we need to decompose those composed abilities into its list of subsequent abilities. Decompose this composed ability into its list of abilities and insert those at the right spot in this abilities execution array up here. Where in the world? So the first thing we need to do is we need to actually do a traditional for loop here, because this for each, you can't modify an array if you're doing a for each. So we're going to have to do for var I equals 0, I is less than abilities dot count I plus plus, var ability is equal to abilities I. So now what I need to do is I've got this execution result here. If execution result dot composed abilities to add to well, we could just do this. Oh, shoot. No, this should be actually relatively easy. If execution result dot count is greater than 0, we are going to decompose those abilities. So decomposed abilities is equal to collect abilities recursively, execution result dot composed abilities to add to execution. Target collection, we'll just do var. Oh wait, this doesn't return anything. So decomposed abilities equal to new list base card ability. And then we can put the decomposed abilities in there. So this will give us an entire list of all the abilities that were echoed. And we basically need to we need to splice those into the array. I think splice is the right word. We need to splice those into the array at the next index after this loop. I actually don't know how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go and ask Claude, how do I splice a list of elements in my decomposed abilities at the index I+1 such that those base card abilities are inserted into the abilities array or list. Work, only 25 cards left to complete before next play test. Is that right? Maybe. AI robots can only automate your creative outlets, sadly, yeah. Abilities.insert range. Inserts elements for decomposed abilities collection into the abilities list starting at the specified index. This will shift all existing elements at and after that index to the right to make room for the new elements. Is that going to work, actually? I don't actually think that's going to work. I think I need to break this down even more. Because the problem is, so I've got the composed abilities, which they are like logical groupings of all abilities that work together as a unit. And the problem is that whole list of all the composed abilities gets flattened. So if I've got 4 abilities in the first one and 3 abilities in the second one and 2 abilities in the third one, that's 9 abilities that all get flattened into this abilities array. So they just execute one at a time. The problem is I lose the context though of which abilities belong to which group in terms of the composed ability. So what I could potentially be doing here is I could be interrupting the flow of like the logical grouping of abilities by just inserting these. So I almost need to iterate over all the composed abilities, and then as I'm iterating over the composed abilities, I need to decompose those into that sub ability array. And then when I go to add a composed ability to the execution list, I need to add that to the composed ability list and not the decomposed ability list. Because again, I don't want to break up that logical grouping of abilities. So I actually think I need to modify this a little bit, which should be okay, but I actually don't want to. So yeah, I want to basically change this to be composed abilities. So this composed abilities here, get all combat executable composed abilities, like so. And then I need to do like another loop. So for each var I is equal to 0, I is less than composed abilities dot count, I++. I'm going to do var abilities is equal to new list base card ability. Then I'm going to want to collect abilities recursively. List. And then I can do this loop in here. So this is going to have to change to like J or something. And then this has to be abilities J. Okay, so now when I execute the ability in here, I actually don't need to do this. because that's going to get decomposed when it gets to its position that it needs to be in. So I think what I can do now is I can take this and we're just going to simply do composed abilities.insert range. Insert range I+1 execution result composed abilities to add to execution. I think that's what I need to do here. So now I'm iterating over all the composed abilities, which are the logical groupings. For each composed ability, I'm going to decompose it into its flattened abilities, basically, which honestly, I don't even think I need to do that, because there's only going to be one source ability. If ability is I composite ability, get abilities, whatever. We'll just use that. It's fine. So collect abilities recursively there, and then now it's going to iterate over those flattened or decomposed abilities here. And then if we get another composed ability to add to the execution list, it's just going to go ahead and add that to this array up here. And then that's going to get decomposed immediately. So I think that's going to preserve the logical grouping of the abilities now. And it's not going to interrupt the flow of any other abilities. I think. I don't know. We're going to have to find out. Let's see if anything broke. Hello, Lucas. When is the demo out? There will be another playtest Halloween. What do I wear in my hand? It's just a wrist brace to prevent strain. I don't have any active problems. It's just a nice preventative measure because I'm on the computer all day. What are we doing? We're nerfing Echo. The sub-ability array with all the funk and vars. Logic groups will remain intact, yes. Takes more notes, clearly. It's hard to explain the system if you don't have context, but we will see. Mostly I'm just interested to see if this is going to work still, but without even having the echo. I think all the descriptions still work, so that's good. All right, let's just test it, make sure I didn't break anything. Okay. So that seems to still be working. Okay. So now let's do something. Let's do a little bit of an experiment here. So if I go to my skeleton warrior, I'm going to add ability builder.echo. And we're just going to take this real slow and see if I broke anything. It's okay. This is just like sitting at math class. Memories are coming back. Let's go ahead and upgrade the skeleton. So the skeleton should have echo on it. Yeah, it has echo. Okay. So I should see the skeleton deal 10 damage. 5 damage twice. Okay, it's perfect. Okay, so that is working. Now I want to test what happens if I add some more abilities to the skeleton. Ability builder.fire. 1. Is swarm gonna be okay? I'm gonna try maybe swarm as well. Ability builder dot poison 1. So we're gonna try all that. Let me add. I'm just gonna actually well, let's add another skeleton warrior. We need call whenever you click the skip crow. Yeah, I definitely need to do that for sure. Okay. So let's see what it does. Okay, it dealt 4 damage, applied 1 poison, applied 1 fire, and then applied 1 poison again. So this 1 poison right here, that took the place of the echo. So do you see the order is preserved here? So 4 damage, echo, apply 1 fire, apply 1 poison. If I'm looking at the combat log here, we've got 4 damage, 1 poison. That was the echo right there. Applied 1 fire, applied 1 poison. So that is working. Now we're going to see if it does a different ability this time. Okay, it did poison again. That's probably just random chance. Let's just make sure. Okay, yeah, this time it did fire. So it echoed the fire this time. It did poison again. Man, it likes that poison. I want to see it echo the damage. Chose fire again. There it goes. It echoed the damage now. Cool. So that appears to be working. Now the one thing I want to test is with the corvids here. Because these have a conditional echo, and I want to make sure that that still works properly. So echo if the board contains multiple corvid cards. So we're going to try first with just 1 corvid, and we should see that the echo, I mean, it shouldn't, I didn't make any changes to that conditional echo, so it should still be fine. But let's go ahead and test it. 5 damage. Yeah, it's just dealing 5 damage. It's not even trying to echo. Okay. So we'll get through that auto resolve. We'll go to the next combat here and we'll put the second corvid on. And now what I want to see is that they're just both going to deal 5 damage twice. Yeah, so they're both just dealing 5 damage twice. So corvid dealt 5 damage, dealt 5 damage, dealt 5 damage, dealt 5 damage. Cool. So that works. These tooltips get frozen sometimes. It's kind of annoying. I think that is working. I don't know. I'm actually kind of shocked that that was relatively simple. And the nice thing is that I don't have to worry about my turn history, like logging, being an issue, because I'm just basically adding it to the composed abilities list to execute again, and it still follows this exact logic. So that's perfect. Now the question is, what happens if this... Will this work if already at the end of the array iteration? Won't work correctly if you're at the end of the array iteration. When you use insert I+1 and I as last index in the collection. What? I mean, will insert range work with I+1 if I is equal to count -1? It is a valid insertion point. Okay, I don't believe you. I'm going to put echo at the end and see if it breaks. Want to add echo to the log to make it clear for players, and on other random items, adding their name in brackets to denote where the damage came from. Yeah, I definitely need to make more improvements to the combat log. But the combat log is a whole different beast. I'm surprised it works as well as it does, honestly. But I think it should be possible. I just think it's going to take a little bit of effort and testing. Okay, it does work. All right. I'm sorry for doubting you, Claude. Okay, I think that has been well and truly nerfed. So now the next thing to do is we need to change the description here. We need to change the description here. So ability explanations. Where's echo? One ability chosen at random will be executed again. Okay, I think that's nerfed now. I think that's going to be a lot more balanced. Because again, now what you'll want to do with the Echo is you'll probably want to focus it on just like one or two abilities rather than on a card that... Because like before it was an obvious choice, right? You just take your card that you've alchemized, it has 10 abilities on it, you slap Echo on it, it does 20 executions, 2 ability executions each time. Now it's more so that you probably want to put Echo on items that are stronger but have fewer abilities so you get more bang for your buck. Oh, the other thing I want to test too is having multiple Echoes. I should probably try that. Because now Echo should be able to stack now. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but let me just do that test. Ability builder dot echo. Ability builder dot echo. And one other thing that I want to do, add to rerun. This. Is this called anywhere? Oh, it's called in Swarm. Okay, so we'll keep that. Okay. Let's give that a shot. We'll give that a shot. So now the skeleton has 2 echoes on it, which means it should deal 4 damage an additional 2 times. Yep, there we go. So that echo is working as intended, and it's filtering out other abilities that have echo in it. So maybe I should make a note of that. Cannot execute abilities that also have echo. Oh, maybe not. Whatever. Cannot. Okay, maybe that's fine. And before both echoes copy each other, echo doing nothing, yeah. Was on vacation, finally back. Good to see you still chugging along. Welcome back, Cody R. Always good to see you. All right, one ability chosen at random will be executed again. Cannot target other abilities with echo. Cool. Alrighty, so that's working great. Let me just make sure I didn't do anything too dumb here. Echo. Great. That worked real good, actually. Okay, so nerf echo, or let's do change echo to only repeat one random ability. So you can still increase the power of echo by putting echo multiple times on the same card. It's just not going to be like this huge power spike when you get echo now. Change echo. I'm very happy with that. That actually went a lot easier than I thought it was going to. Hello, Hurtwolf. What fonts are you using for regular text and size? The fonts are 16 pixels and they're called Soft Square, Chevy Ray, Soft Square here, and also Grandeur 8H. I'm also using Voice, but I'm going to probably remove that one and try to do something else. But yeah, that's what we got going on with the fonts anyway. Okay, I'm going to end the stream a little bit early today because I have a bunch of stuff to do, like I said, so I'm going to get started on those things. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked watching. Thank you for your support. Again, you can wishlist Alka Mortis on Steam. That would help me out a lot, and you can also consider joining the Patreon. Again, the top tier on the Patreon here will have you... will reward you, I guess you could say. I don't know how to say this, but you'll get a Alka Mortis Steam key when the game launches, and you'll also get your name in the in-game Alka Mortis credits. So you just need to subscribe to this tier for at least 1 month, and you will get those rewards there. And I'm also posting other stuff on occasion on the Patreon too, like there's a preview of the new boss music that will be in the next playtest, so if you want to get an early listen at that, that's for Patreon members only. But of course, you can join the Discord, that's free. You can also... like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. All that support is greatly appreciated as well. I hope you all have a good day. I will see you back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, bye-bye.